my goodness. Yes, you have to know. You have to know. You have to know.
Here we go. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice.
Biden's out of the race.
Let's go here. Can we backtrack? No, we're okay.
All right.
So Biden's out of the race. Let's backtrack. Can we backtrack about 3 weeks ago?
And you like NASCAR so much.
Yeah. Let's backtrack 3 weeks ago. So this all started.
Biden was in the race.
Biden was in the race.
Out of the race.
Biden was in the race at the time, but he was looking real old and fragile. But this was around the same time when this kid, 20-year-old kid, decided to run up on the
ex-president.
Yeah, the ex-president, the current one trying to run again. I can't help it. I can't believe he threw a fist up. Well, the crazy thing about it is that
you just got shot in the ear.
What is this, breakfast?
No. So the thing about no. I'm gonna give.
I swear to God, it looked like the episode of Breakfast Club.
Yeah. So the crazy thing about Trump getting clipped in the ear is that everybody says, "Oh, it was staged. It was staged." No. First of all,
you know what? I really thought that was staged.
So what? So let's go there for a second. Why do y'all think it was staged?
Because it sounded like a BB gun when he hit. Like, was that a BB gun? But then when I saw the expression on the dude who's in the bleachers, the one who covered his daughter before he got killed, then I knew it was real. Because I saw it right when I watched it again. I was looking at that dude who they were talking about who covered his daughter before he got killed, but. It was just like
because people don't understand. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll go off for a bit here. Do I think Trump was in on it? Like, did he think he knew he was going to get shot? I'm leaning towards no. However, I do think there are those in his party who are aware that this was going to happen. There's a lot of snakes and vipers in politics.
Facts.
And the fact that I would say that reinforces this isn't staged is the fact that there are currently 5 dead people.
God rest their souls and shout out.
And on top of that, people are saying, oh, well, what about what's it called, Secret Security?
Secret Service.
Oh, Secret Service, yeah, Secret Service. Like, how could they miss this guy? He was right there and stuff like that. I think people would tend to. Okay, so go off a little tangent real quick. People really, really, really overestimate the capability of the government. Don't get me wrong; they're very capable. But not like how you think. Movies, video games, and a lot of stuff like this have contributed to this. Like, people really overestimate the capability of the CIA, the FBI, the DEA, the AFT, the Secret Service. They're all capable, but there's a lot of incompetence. Incompetence.
You made it sound so cool.
There's a lot of incompetence within those groups.
Agreed.
Right? Like, a lot. Like, more than they would ever like to admit. You know the reason why the reason like CIA, whatever, does not correct anyone when people are like kind of blowing smoke up their ear, is that they want people to think they're that capable. Mm-hmm. They want people to think that they can do all that stuff.
Agreed.
They want people to think that. The CIA has more failings than successes.
Yep.
Right? They'll never say that, but that's the truth. Right? The same with the Secret Service.
Agreed.
The Secret Service is no doubt a very well-capable task force of doing their job. But they can fail just as easily, just like they did with this. Right? It's just one of those things where it's like people, because of just modern entertainment, people tend to think certain ways about these groups.
I have a different take, but I'm going to let you go first.
I
agree with you, but I have a take.
I think me and you for the same time.
Go ahead.
A buddy of mine, I think I was talking to our boy Rob in Sporting Goods. We talked about that. He's like, this looks like a wrestling stage, man. I'm like, what are you talking about? But then when I
got one better, but go ahead.
When I looked at it, I said, you know what? Rob was right. It does kind of look like it was like a pro wrestling stage storyline right there. But the only thing what really ticked me up about this because you knew this was going to happen sooner or down the line. It just, I had a feeling that this was going to happen pretty soon, but just God forbid, it had to happen not at the right time, but it was just at the wrong time. But it had to be a baby, a kid, a 20-year-old. But at the same time, everybody would, we don't know what people's intentions are when they see stuff like this, because a lot of people, was his intentions, to make this, assassinate just, for the greater the good, or for himself, or for, is he fighting for the people? We don't know and stuff like that. But not what's going to bad on Trump. So nobody get try to get their life taken or something like that. But at the same time, what does this teach you? What does this teach everybody else?
That's what I'm trying to take from that too. But go ahead.
Well, yeah. Well, some people are thinking that this guy was radicalized in a way which typically
He was.
Yeah, which I was going to say, typically the case of most assassination attempts is radicalization or mental destabilization. You don't just wake up one day and want to kill the ex-president. This was probably a festering problem with the guy. Assassination is probably one of the most heinous crimes, especially in a political sense, because you're supposed to be able to hold conversations with the opposite party. Because that's all they are. They're the opposite party. They're not the opposing force. They're not the enemy. They're, you're supposed to both want what's best for the nation you want to serve, for the people you want to serve. But it's become quite literally, in a sense, RVB, red versus blue. And
we're gonna get there in a little bit.
And
don't worry.
That's what this is. Some people are saying, well, the Dems planned it. The Dems tried to kill him. I don't think that's what happened. But this guy was most likely.
He was a Democrat.
Yeah, of the opposite.
He was a Democrat for sure.
Of the opposite of the right wing, which would prompt him to do this. And it doesn't help that online a lot of people are disappointed that he missed. Which is in itself is a whole lot of another evil.
So I got some.
It's real quick. I'm gonna stop here. It's just one of those things where it's like none of what happened is successful, nor should murder ever be celebrated. Never should be celebrated. People are supposed to rejoice in truth and justice, not in failed attempts at murder, no matter who it is. Right? Because that's just murder should never be celebrated. Because when you start celebrating murder, you start to, in a way, to idolize it. You start cutting justice short. This is how you get Judge Dredd's.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I was going. But I'm gonna go there in a minute too.
Damn, I didn't think about that.
No. A few things. One, you never, ever would want this to happen to somebody. Keep in mind, Trump is a former president. And by him being a former president, he has former president access, former president, connections amongst other things and stuff. So you never want it to be where some radical has the opportunity to get that type of shot off and get that close to hitting. I'm gonna give you the take that I gave a couple other people. What it looked like? You said it looked like wrestling. No, you know what it looked like? It looked like a game of Call of Duty. You know why I say it looked like a game of Call of Duty? Because when you play Call of Duty and you're sniping, at Call of Duty, you don't. If he was trying to really hit like a real trained shooter, understand that there's more ways to kill somebody than a headshot. It's just a headshot is the quickest way to get somebody down, but it doesn't have to be. Most snipers can hit you chest high, leg high, certain parts of the body. No. But I want you to understand it. But see, what I'm saying is
he's what?
That's Biden.
No, yeah. But he's a 20-year-old, so he treated this like a video game. The reason why I say it was like Call of Duty, he got a ladder, climbed up on the roof, sniped, and tried to headshot. Now, the reason why people say like, oh, it sounded like fireworks, because people don't understand shots in distance. When you're shooting it's still this. Shut up.
Well, real quick.
But I'm just saying that. But think about it. He's a kid who probably was growing up playing color. Now here, no, let me start this. It's not Microsoft Activision. This is not on you. This is the people who actually play the game who has this type mentality as they are playing the game. But it's not on the game maker. It's on the people who play. But be it as it may, he goes up the roof, he tries to shoot and all this stuff. The problem I have is that he was a good enough shot to actually hit him head high. Now, if Trump was actually turned a little bit different way, he does hit him pretty clean. So he was a good enough shot to get it off with that type of caliber gun. And that's not an easy gun. I'm going to tell you right now, for people who've been in military stuff, that is not an easy gun to shoot. It's not an easy gun to be accurate with. And it's not an easy gun to be that accurate with.
Yeah, and then he started panic shooting.
Right. And then when he started shooting off and they kind of realized, and this is why I said the counter snipers should have, the Secret Service snipers who was on the roof, who was supposed to kind of guard the area. And I'm pretty sure they had information about this dude being around. I just think the counter snipers were there. They wasn't quick enough. Kind of like Call of Duty. You see the shot come off, and you're trying to look to see, okay, it's a sniper shot. I got to figure out where it's coming from. Do I have an actual shot to get him down? They kind of didn't, but they did kind of get him down after they kind of got location. Like I said, it really felt like Call of Duty.
So I heard one of the reasons was why the counter sniper team didn't smoke the guy real quick was because while he's looking through the scope, he's seeing way past the guy where he really is. So, like, say the shooter's right here, the sniper team, the counter snipers are looking out like right here. Yeah, they're looking right over him.
Yeah, because he's in a elevated spot below her. So basically, what happens is a sniper has to take the shot downward a little bit, and it's not that easy of a shot.
He was really close.
He was on and keep in mind, you're still talking because snipers are thinking like 3,000, 2,000 feet, 1,000 feet. He wasn't really that far off, but when you're looking through a sniper scope, the scopes are designed for distance. So you kind of have to shorten the distance, readjust, get the aim right. Oh, he's by this roof. And you got to be able to line up the shot, because what you don't want to have happen is you just letting off and you missing, and you already got your team on the ground, who's the ground team who's trying to get to said roof to get to these boys too. So you don't want to clip one of your own people. Like I said, kind of like the game.
Now we go forward a little bit here.
So
he's winning, right?
No. Well, this is the thing. So everybody has the image of like Trump getting whizzed in the ear, have Secret Service over his body, and then he's throwing the fist up like he's a Black Panther. But
that's what got me.
But I'm gonna tell you what. But it made him look so strong in that moment that it caused Biden to say, I can't win.
But see,
Biden was already behind, but when you have that type of momentum going to say that, he got the whole Midwest vote.
He
survived it. Not street cred as far as like in the East and West Coast. Yeah. He has Midwest street cred, meaning that all them country boys that was there, So think about this. Did y'all see the picture of when those shots were going off? Did y'all look at the audience?
Yeah.
So pay attention to the audience. You had a few people getting the girls down, right? Like some of the kids, all the stuff that was there. Did you see all the dudes?
Like nothing happened.
No, they're looking You saw the dude behind Trump say sniper. So he already knew what was good, and he was already looking to see where the sniper was coming from. Them dudes is like, I wish I had mine on me. I will solve this myself. Because this is how used to that they are.
Did you see the interview yesterday where all Trump supporters was wearing the patches on the ears?
No, I'm telling you right now.
That was too much.
Here's what you don't want to have.
You don't want merchandise out
of this. That's what they doing.
Here's what you didn't. Here was my concern after that part happened. Then we'll fast forward after this. So my problem was, when you go to a spot now where there's a rally that so happens to be in a carry state, you do understand that Trump supporters can now just, before they wasn't rolling up with they kept them in the trunk. Now they pull up to the thing, they rolling up with them things in the hip. They probably doing looking like LL Cool J, in too deep, just showing just waving the blinky, just letting you know if it pops off with him one more time. We strapped. Don't worry about the Secret Service. We got you. Don't worry. We got enough shooters.
That's bad on them.
No, that's what you didn't want.
That's
what you didn't want. You don't want these people. You got to keep in mind, these are the same people who was bold enough to storm the Capitol.
Be like, forget Secret Service.
So now that you're shooting at us, you hit some of our people anyway. Oh, they coming fat and strapped. They loving handles, boy. They coming up there with with them things.
Now to say this,
I have one question before you go ahead. Quick. Is the person who tried us, the kid, since he's going to get it on, do you think his family is safe?
Oh no.
That was my main thing.
Oh, now, and I hate to say that, and the only reason why, to answer your question, sir, the reason why I don't think they're safe, like for real, is only because
there's radicals on both sides.
There's these people who support Trump are radicals as is. You don't think that they could just pull up? Oh, here's where this family person lived. This is how quickly they found out what he had. He had bomb making materials in the car. He had other guns in the car. He had all that stuff at the house. They know who his parents is. They probably know everybody who's related to him is. They said if they even flinch about moving, we got them. Oh no, Secret Service is gonna take care of that on their own. They're trying to. The whole problem they had was trying to call these dogs off of them and let Secret Service handle this versus the masses, because the masses would have ran up on them ASAP.
Because disturbingly enough, a lot of people see Trump almost like the second coming of Christ in a way. He's not at all. I mean, don't get me wrong. I prefer him over a lot of the other options, but he's got his own set of flaws, sins, off on his butt.
Now you're making a
no. But I know he makes a good point. But I'm gonna let him go. I got a good thing. It's a very basic fundamental. But go ahead.
So, I mean, when voting time comes, I'm most likely voting for him unless someone else comes up and who I'm more in alliance with. But speaking of that, like both sides have radicals. We're not trying to play this as right side good, left side bad. Both sides are actually the two-party system has been flawed for a very long time. It's just we haven't had anything to really replace it.
Well,
because
remember when Bernie Sanders tried to run independent and they tried to get him in the
he got hammered.
No, he was in the running for a period of time, but it's just he didn't have enough bread and enough push to get him up. But people like Bernie. I'm gonna keep it tall, but he was older too.
Yeah, I remember people like labeling him a commie.
Yeah, but he was older too. But go ahead.
My thing being is the problem isn't really with the parties or the candidates alone. It's more of the fact that the system has fundamentally just kind of rotted. It's like termite eating wood in a sense, where like, dude, it's been infested for a long time. Why are you surprised by all the holes? It needs some serious reworking. However, that will not happen, at least in our lifetime, in my lifetime. Because if you always notice, everyone in office is someone of a much older age, right? People who have basically sacrificed their lives to a system, right? And they're going to do all that they can to maintain it. And it doesn't help that anytime a certain party gets into office, one is trying to undo the work the other did so that they can do their own thing. It's just kind of in a cycle like that for a while. There's a lot wrong with this. Like, don't get me wrong, I do think Trump would be a decent president. However, he's not going to fix America or save America. The only reason America remains is because God wants it to. Purely, that's it. No politician, no standing army is the reason America's here. Granted, they are used, but they're not the reason. Only by the grace of God alone does America remain at all. After all, he's the one who made it and rose it from the ashes. And he's the one who will decide when it will end. And America one day will end, like all nations and all things, when the real king finally returns. But, I'm not going to tangent here, I'm just saying is, don't ever be foolish enough to put your faith, your hope, your trust into any human leader, into any personality, into any idol, because it's not going to come to anything beneficial for you. You will be left broken. You will be left desolated. You will be left hurt. You will be left feeling betrayed. You will be left almost like a radical in a way, but not radical for them, just radically demoralized. Don't ever put your faith, trust, and love into anything that isn't God. You will be left broken 10 out of 10 times.
So let me break this down. Real simple. No. I'm gonna break this down real simple. Okay. Politics in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. We'll go back to the 6th grade. Okay? 6th grade. Y'all remember 6th grade, right?
Reagan?
Y'all remember, Reaganomics, if y'all old enough. You know, we ain't talking Reaganomics right now. 6th grade. You're in elementary school.
What year was that for me?
Yeah. You was in elementary school.
97?
Yeah. You was in elementary school. Just remember. Just think about elementary school.
No, that was 99.
You remember they had like the classroom president, right? And it was normally between 2 or 3 people, right? So you had a choice of which 1, 2, or 3 people that wanted to be president. No.
That's a learning experience right there.
Follow me for a second.
I got you.
No, follow me. I want you to think. Do you remember who you voted for?
For me, I think it was a girl.
No, okay. Well, no. Pause.
Female.
Why did you vote? Why did you vote for her? No, I want you to be honest. Why did you vote for her?
Because she was fine.
Because she was pretty, or she
was.
So you voted for that person because she was pretty, or whatever it may be.
Not knowing what the hell was I.
Let's fast forward. Let's take it 2 years up. Mm-hmm. You're in the 8th grade, getting ready to go to the 9th grade. Mm-hmm. Junior high class president, the one who decides the school dances and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. You had probably 2 candidates. Why did you choose? What made you decide between the 2 candidates if you voted at all? And I always say that if you voted out, at that point in time you may not have voted.
I don't think I voted.
Right. So why didn't you vote?
Shit, I thought I wanted to know what the hell we was going.
Maybe
we were too busy.
Maybe and
high school.
Good point. I'm gonna keep that on the side for a second. Follow me, but keep that on the side. But you didn't vote. But you had 2 candidates there, and one of them became the class president and whatnot, right? But why didn't you vote for them? I will answer in a second. But I'm just trying to get you to. I want you to think about this because it's really where.
I remember the elementary one, yeah.
And I remember, and I know you don't probably remember the junior high one. But let's fast forward to high school. Same thing. It's class president, class vice president, your ASB president, Associated Student Body president for people on the West Coast. I don't think they have this. Some people have president, but ours is called ASB president, ASB vice president, the treasurer, and the person who took care of the writing down the books and promotion. You have 4 of them. So I don't know if you were voting, but if you voted,
I think for the high school one, I think I did, and I think I did.
But why did you? Oh yeah, but why did you vote for?
I think I do remember the high school one because she had a compelling argument.
She had a compelling argument.
She said what she did. Y'all elected president, we're gonna have better lunch, better, ice cream and stuff like that. Sound like
she had a little bit of a.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got so I remember that.
So was her name Sanders?
Shit. Who was her? I think her name was Christina. One of them. So
the reason why
I knew her very well.
The reason why I say this because our politics has been instilled in us since we were kids.
Don't say it. We never left high school again.
We never left it. You do know our politics system is really simple. The reason why people choose, when you chose elementary in elementary, when you chose in junior high, when you chose in high school, you do know the very reason why you chose them. Half the time you chose them because if you were cool with them, you chose them because you were cool with them. I'm friends with that person. I'm rocking with this person no matter what. That's my people. Let's say that you didn't vote. I didn't vote for them because I don't know nothing about them. I ain't cool with them. I don't know nothing about them. I didn't vote. I don't care. Sounds like our voting system now. Mm-hmm. Oh, I voted for this person because this person said that they were able to give me extra lunches that had Pizza Hut come up through the high school from time to time maybe give us an extra school dance from time to time and make it more fun. So I'm going to go with them because they said it. But what came around to be is when they really came down to it, you only had Pizza Hut come around once. When they said they're going to come around once every month, and they only came around once. And you never really got that extra school dance because the school said y'all wasn't allowed to do it because y'all were too rowdy. Even though the person said it. Sounds about right? Do you think that? So do you think that politics have changed since then?
No.
So politics has always been a popularity choice. So the reason why Trump is head and shoulders, because for most intents and purposes, he's a celebrity and he's popular. It's a popularity choice. It doesn't. I mean, the principles in which you stand on, a lot of these people don't care. They just know one thing about him. He's good. He's good for money.
It's entertainment.
No, he's good for money, and I recognize him.
Oh, I didn't think about that part.
I recognize him. A lot of people who voted for Biden was like, I know what Trump's about, so I'm not going to vote for Trump.
I think a lot of people are surprised to find out how long of a political career Biden has.
He's been there forever.
He's been there forever.
Keep in mind, he was there. He was a vice president with Obama. He's been a senator in Muslim. He's been in there for his whole life. But people forget that he was the vice president in the Obama run. That's the only reason why he had a shot at this now.
Yeah, a lot of people. Well, okay, let me rephrase it. Not a lot of people. Well, from what I heard, back when he was just vice president, when Obama was president, people had a much more favorable opinion of the guy.
Because he was. Can I be honest? He was the only white guy who was willing to ride with Obama because they didn't think Obama was going to get there and be president, but he was willing to ride, and they needed his credit. They needed Biden's. Obama needed Biden's credibility in the Midwest just to get some of those votes to swing to make it work. Yes, and when he was going up against Hillary Clinton, remember he was going up against Hillary Clinton.
Exactly.
Yes. Democratic Party. Remember, it was Hillary Clinton, which Bill Clinton was like the de facto. Everybody considered him to be the first black president, but even though he wasn't, but he was going up against somebody who was really trying to be the first real black president. The only reason why Hillary Clinton got clipped is because he was the de facto one, but we're gonna get the real one in and see what he's going to do.
Dude.
And I'm just being honest with you. They voted for Obama most people voted because he was purely on the strength of the black people said, we truly want a black president to come out. And then you had the other voters who are not of black descent say, I'm cool enough with his policies. I'm cool enough with how he interacts and talks with the people. He was really good with people. That's what made Obama work. He was good with people. He interacted with people very well. Biden was just there to kind of like say that whatever policies you really don't know or understand, I got you because I've been in politics forever. That's what got Joe Biden on. Once Joe Biden had his shot of being president, they thought that he was going to do what Obama did. He didn't because he was too old to get it done. But see, he kind of fast forward this to Kamala Harris. So now Biden steps down. Kamala Harris is kind of the de facto number one choice right now. So now the playing field's changed. So now it's not a slam dunk that Trump is going to win. It was a slam dunk about 2 days ago. It was a foregone conclusion. There was no way that Biden was going to win. It was a slam dunk. That's why he had to step out of the way. But I think the play was that Biden was getting older. He wanted to step out of the way anyway. He was making room for Kamala anyway to jump in. Here's where it becomes a thing now. Now you're talking about what Hillary couldn't do. That's why I brought up Hillary Clinton. You're talking about Kamala Harris, who is of Indian and black descent. Come to find out, which I forgot, she is also an AKA.
Really?
So for people who don't understand AKAs, she's an actor. She's an actor. AKA, she's basically part of a black sorority, which is very well connected in the black community as far as power. When you talk about powerful black people in the community and stuff, I'm part of I'm part of Sigma Pi. Sigma Pi. Shout out to all my boys who back to Sigma.
I remember this was a while ago. But remember there's this image of her hosting like a dinner party or whatever, right? And it was going around, and what was circulating was is that she had black servants wearing white gloves and suits and whatnot, and that kind of set some people off. No. Me personally, dude, it's just work. It's servant work.
It's what it is.
Servant work is not tied to race. It's just a job.
Right.
But I just remember that people seeing that and like a lot of, well, not a lot. I guess you're saying that, but there are people out there who do not consider her black. They call her the chameleon in a way because she keeps changing her ethnicity. Like almost to fit the narrative. Like she'll be black if she's talking to black people. She'll be Indian when she's talking to everybody else. Heck, she'll pull out the Asian card probably.
Yes.
When necessary. That's why they refer to her as the chameleon. She'll change depending on who she's talking to.
Right, but see, the thing is, she's going to garner votes for exactly those reasons. Remember, I told you, politics, it is somewhat about policies. If you have like one real policy that you're really latched on to, okay, you may vote in regards to that, but a lot of times people vote because of popularity. She's an ACA. So just on the strength of that alone, she's going to get the votes of all the sorority people and the fraternity people that's connected to said sororities. So that means that the Power 9, because there's 9 sororities, 9 fraternities that's connected to them that are all black ones, those votes are basically penciled in. So that changes.
She's running?
Yeah, she's running.
No, but did she say it?
She's running. She says she wants to earn the vote, but she's going to run. So basically, when they get to the Democratic National Convention in about a month, there's nobody else in play. It has to be her.
Well, then who would be VP?
That's the $1 million question.
Because aren't we like a little too late into this?
She's going. I think they already have somebody in mind that is not going to introduce it until the Democratic National Convention. Because they have to at the Democratic National Convention. That's when you confirm this is the person who we're going to go with the Democratic Party to be the choice for president of the United States. Kind of like what they did with Trump a few days ago when they said, look, Trump is going to be the one that's going to be the head. They're going to do it for her. Now, there can be somebody come out the woodwork. It's just nobody's strong enough or popular enough to do it. Now it's just too late in the game. This is the problem why Biden stepping out this late in the game became a problem.
I got one question, and I think you should answer this one. Since she's in a run, do you think Hillary Clinton is going to support her?
I think a lot of females are going to support her because here's the thing: you don't have a second choice. People think that there's a second choice that they could go to. Who are they going to get? Michelle Obama to do it? The reason why I'm not trying to be funny. They asked her.
No. I'm not laughing. I'm laughing because I can see her.
No,
I can see her doing it, but I know
getting Michelle in there is basically like getting Obama in there. Getting Hillary in the office is basically like getting Bill in the office. People don't understand that.
Michelle Obama doing it. No, I know she not.
She wouldn't be the one pulling the. She wouldn't be the one calling the shots.
That's what I'm saying.
Barack would be the one kind of pulling. She would just be the mouthpiece for the one pulling.
Baby, make sure that bill passes.
Michelle.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be funny.
But Michelle bombed the already.
No. And let me be real sincere about this. This is not us undermining females in said position. I'm just saying that that's part of the logic.
We need strong.
But here's the thing. Here's the realistic thing. Will women really? You asked a good question. Will women vote for other women to be in position? Here's where it becomes tricky, ladies.
I like the way I Cam got comfortable because he finna spend some dollars.
Here's what becomes tricky, ladies. Y'all always have a problem with each other because y'all compete for each other. Y'all battle and compete against each other for the littlest of things. If this person got a hairstyle that's different, I need to have that. So I'm going to hate on her from the sideline until I can catch up with her, as opposed to trying to unify with her and build each other. Y'all, a lot of women are so about breaking each other down, like secretly hating.
It's like basketball.
Well, okay.
It's just like the whole conversation with the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark conversation. Caitlin Clark is the one bringing them a buttload of money, but all the women who's playing in the league secretly hates her. This is the same conversation piece, ladies.
You see that picture she took the shot?
Even though Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is cool like that, but y'all hating Caitlin because she's the one who so happens to be the face. Did you see that? Because they want somebody else to be the face.
Did you see that picture with her and Shaq?
Yeah, no, I'm just I saw it.
So speaking of competition in the realm of just women in society. They're typically the ones with the label homewrecker.
Yes.
Now, to be absolutely fair, it does take two to tango.
True.
It's not like it's just solely their fault, right? But I mean, when you hear the phrase homewrecker, most people think of women, right? That's not to say guys haven't done it, but
no, because
it's just one of the things where that word
it's the word
incites woman.
No, got it. So I'll take your pick. Perfect example, by the way. So if a guy's in a relationship with a woman, no. But another woman, like if another guy tries to interfere and gets with that girl, it's one thing. Like, oh, I hate that guy for trying to break up the house. If a woman does the same thing and tries to get with the dude who's already in a relationship with another female, you know what the other ladies will do on the sideline? Go ahead, get you money. You can have them. You know, they're competing against each other, not knowing that they're breaking up. Not knowing that you're breaking up a happy home because you're trying to compete just because you want. Because you want.
It's just a rain.
No. Because they're so.
I hate
for all the stuff. For all the stuff that they want. Oh, I want a guy. I want this. They will leapfrog and bust up and break down other women just so they can have it because they're so selfish enough that they can't rally around simple things. So if they can't rally around trying to preserve relationships, what makes you think that they're going to rally around and vote? Why do you think Hillary had a problem when she was running against Obama? Because the women really didn't rock with her. The one vote that she needed to beat Barack at the time, for real, was she needed the women's vote. And she couldn't get the women's vote because the women couldn't unify enough to do it.
Her fault because she said what she said in that press conference made everybody look down on her.
To women,
even for women,
the littlest of things will set women off and be like, well, I can't rock with her anymore.
Oh, yeah, you remember, one time when you let the toilet seat up?
It's just like it's the littlest of things. The littlest of things will cause the thing, and then because there is so much of competition with each other, it's crazy. So let's take this. So let's take the sorority thing. Even within a sorority system, there is a hierarchy and a tier system within a sorority system, and even the girls who think that they all cool with each other, half the time they're fighting against each other in the same sorority.
Even you see it in cheerleaders
all the time.
I saw that
all the time. One person's getting a little bit more shine. They mad. One person got the dude that another person want. They fight.
Dude,
one person's a little bit more popular. They got a little bit more social media following. They're fighting. So what makes you think that they're going to be able to vote? This is the problem that Kamala has. She's trying to rally all these people around. She's trying to get the women vote, the black vote, the Asian vote, the Indian vote. She's doing it by basically the social networking half of it. We don't know what policies she's going to rock with. I'm going to tell you right now, it ain't even going to matter because she's trying to get the votes
that she needs.
That basically by I'm gonna be the cool one. I'm the cool girl on campus. I'm trying to be cool with everybody. That's the way she's going to vote. We don't know what her policies are going to be. We don't know if she's going to be fit. We don't even know what she stands on. She ain't even said no words on that yet. She better start talking pretty soon here.
Imagine if...
Not trying to be funny. This is not a knock against her. I'm just telling you that this is what she's up against. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Trump already let you know what he's about. He already told you, I'm basically a dictator. I'm going to run the country like a business like I did. I'm going to make y'all some money. I ain't cool with these borders.
He'll probably use the...
He ain't going to say no, sir, but he's basically telling you what he's about. But you know what he is. No. And I'm enough of a thug that I took a bullet and he walked out with 50 Cent Mini Men. Nobody, trust me. Trump walking out to Mini Men by 50 and 50 letting that ride.
And that was too funny.
No, it was funny, but it tells you how in tune he is.
It tells you how much confidence he has.
He's so in tune with the celebrity and the status that he's in tune to do stuff like that, which was hilarious, but true.
He pulls up to the White House in a lowrider.
Go.
It's one of those things. I hate to say it, but a lot of this really isn't even policies anymore. It's just a popularity contest.
Just what I said at the beginning.
That's what you've been talking about. And I'm just bringing that up again because that's really what this is. What you're seeing here is Trump has the popularity connection. There's enough celebrities out there who would gladly ride with the guy, who would promote him, who would want to be seen with him.
Shit, now he is going to have it after this.
You know, like, you know for a fact there are those out there who would just love to, have a blunt with the guy, right? I'm talking about celebrities here.
No, literally.
Yeah. But those
like,
kind of connections...
have a sip of some liquor with him,
Yeah, those kind of connections are not the same with Kamala.
Yeah.
Right? She does not have that. You cannot see her, nor really imagine her riding with someone like 50. Right? You can't see her really rolling.
Pull up at Getty's house.
You can't. She'd be in the bedroom.
Different conversation. Different conversation.
But in all seriousness,
I ain't gonna talk about that today. I told y'all.
It's like you said, it's a popularity contest, and undoubtedly Trump is far more popular. And people don't care about his. Not enough people really. They don't care about his policies. They don't care about what he's done. They don't care about what he said. They don't care about that. They see, like you said, I recognize. I guarantee you there are people who look at him and are still thinking of the Pizza Hut commercial he did back in the 90s.
No, they still recognize him because he still got money, went through a whole trial, basically got convicted, but still is able to run and still has the popularity and the cachet to do it.
The funny thing, you see him in so many, not just in his own state of mind, but other state of mind. I mean, for the past couple of years, look where he's been at. He's been at a bunch of war shows, been in WWE. He's been. He get talked about on Saturday Night Live. He's doing
the whole politics, making his rounds as you're supposed to, by the way. But more importantly, he's already in the spaces that he's already set. He don't even have to do no work now. All he has to do at this juncture, is show up because of what happened a couple of weeks ago. When I tell you he's basically a made man walking. You take a bullet, and everybody sees that on national TV, and all the people who support him be like, "That's my dude." Here's what you saw. And I was riding 2 days ago. All of a sudden, in California, you see the Republican flags up and the Trump flags up high, because now he has the hood cred to match up with the country cred that he already had. He's basically a made man walking. Now, keep in mind, I say this in California. Where is Kamala from? You know she was the senator or governor the senator out here, right? Really? Yes. She came from California. So there's no way she should be she should be losing out here when this is where she came from before she became vice president. No, she was here in Cali. So if she's getting ran up out of here in Cali, where people in California don't rock with her, and this is where she did most of her work, what do you think's going to happen when she's trying to go out there to Kansas or Idaho?
She lost the Midwest.
That Midwest is done. So she's got to get the East Coast and the West Coast locked down. And I don't know if she can do that.
No, she's not getting the West.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to get the West. I'm not saying it's impossible. Because people still vote red-blue just on the strength of red-blue, no matter who's in front.
And then you got the strange guy. Well, I voted purple.
Well, no, you got the strange guy who says, "Well, I'm just gonna vote for Kanye."
I remember that. That was awful.
Shout out to Kanye to the West. You know when he tried to run, and guess what? He was popular enough where he generated votes too, which tells you goes back to the popularity.
What was that movie with Chris Rock becoming president?
Head of State. Similar, that was kind of more of a thing about the whole Obama, when Obama kind of got in, kind of like we never would have a black president, and
it was a satire movie.
Yes, which turned out to be true.
The minute he got in there, he started thinking of president, started putting up like basketball players.
Kind of like what Obama did. But Obama did that too. Put a whole basketball hoop up in the White House.
But the real question is, where does this work as a society if we don't go in the right direction with this?
It's the honest answer is it's not really.
Because how is this going to help the people? I mean,
so,
what is it going to do for the people?
So it depends on who you are. I'm gonna be honest with you. So if you're a person who's about money, the Trump answer is always going to be the answer, because the one thing that Trump did was he was really good about getting the economy back in tow. But here's the thing. It's not like the economy's bad right now. The economy is actually really flying right now. Even with Biden in office, it's still cooking. Don't get it wrong. All Trump's going to do is just make it really fly.
Add some garlic powder.
He's gonna make it really fly, where it's going to be. We will probably get back to the position where we're still the financial powerhouse of the free world. But it's going to come with a lot of stupid stuff, like him dealing with Putin, him dealing with people that you really don't want him to ally or deal with. That's what it's going to come down to. And if you start aligning yourself with somebody who we're going to war with right now, inadvertently, and he starts to align with Putin again, this becomes a bigger problem for a lot of other countries who are in the mix of this.
Well, okay,
that's part of that.
Let's look over that real quick.
Go ahead.
Let's look over that real quick, because that's still going on, right?
Quietly.
War in Ukraine.
It's not really a war, but quietly, yes.
Well, the whole thing, for the U.S. and a lot of other nations, that was just a testing ground for a lot of their equipment. They're like, okay, let's see what we can do. Like, they gave stuff to Ukrainians. It's like, okay, let's see what our equipment will do against the Russians.
More or less.
It was just a huge testing ground for them. They don't care who got killed. But the thing about it is, I never care for the fact that America is the sword of the world, right? Or since it's the judger of the nations, and since it's supposed to keep everyone in check. It sounds great on paper, and we've been doing that for quite a while by just basically, America is NATO. I understand it's supposed to be an ally of nations, but the fact is, without America, NATO falls apart like that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. My issue with it is that how can you be the sword of the world when the home front is suffering, right? America needs to really focus on building itself back up for a good minute. I'm not saying disband NATO, but we should not be fighting wars that we don't have to. And Ukraine was a war that, inadvertently, America never got directly involved in. But a lot of money was sent that way. A lot of material was sent that way. And I don't think the American people are going to see return on investment. So
I agree with you there. Here's the thing I'm gonna go with. If you haven't, America hasn't realized this yet, and I think we never will, because we're so locked into winning one way. So y'all, no. So I'm gonna reference a video game. Y'all played the game Civilization. Y'all recognize the game Civilization, where you control a country, and there's 4 or 5 ways to win. America only knows how to win one way. Just be a military power and win that way. But wars and battles are always fought differently. In the game Civilization, and in life, because it's kind of funny, there's more than one way to be a superpower. You could be technology so far ahead of everybody that you could dominate other countries by being so tech ahead. Perfect example is China and Japan. They're so far technically ahead of everybody else that they could clip people and keep everybody else at bay, because they're so far ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that as an example, I'll let you jump in a sec, is because we lost. So when things went haywire a couple of days ago, due to I forgot the stupid security company. Yeah, when Microsoft and Crowdsource, or whatever the company was, I can't think of their names, it skips me right now. When technology went down, all the stuff went down with it. Planes went down, companies went down, a lot of stuff was basically at a standstill. Because the battle wasn't in military, but this was a tech battle. And one of our two best tech teams couldn't solve it. Microsoft is considered in the U.S. to be one of the best tech teams that we have in the U.S. between them and Apple. They're supposed to be the two tech teams outside of like Tesla and them boys, outside of them boys. They got some smart guys too. But just them two, as far as like tech. They're supposed to be the ones who's supposed to hold this stuff down so this doesn't happen. So Microsoft, as good as they are, had this happen on their watch. But they're supposed to be the technical superpower in the U.S., which lets you know that stuff has never happened in China. And I believe it will happen in China.
Well, see,
why?
Problem is...
because wars are battled differently.
Yeah, well, see, the problem with China is they're not... They do a lot of stupid stuff, but they're not stupid.
Oh, no.
And what I mean by that is they know very well they can never win a physical war against the U.S. They are outgunned, they are outnumbered, they, technologically speaking, military-wise, they're outmatched in every conceivable way. So their only hope is cyber warfare, which is what they're putting a lot of their stocks into. Because if you look at the actual nation of China, it's practically falling apart.
Right.
Not in a control sense, but in a quite literal sense. Their buildings are made out of really shoddy materials. Everything there is just so poorly made, it's falling apart at the seams. But they don't care about that. They care about dominating cyberspace.
Yep.
That's what they're really investing into. That's what they care about. They don't care that the rifles they give their soldiers, when it fires a bullet, the bullet tumbles a few feet out of the rifle.
Yep.
They don't care about the fact that the tanks they make are made out of paper mache and cardboard.
Because they don't have to fight that way.
It's all just for show. If anything, it's just military parade stuff.
Right.
It's just like you said. It's cyberspace they're focusing on. And if they can dominate cyberspace, that is a victory for all intents and purposes.
Because we're too reliant upon tech.
That cruise missile ain't worth jack if you can't target it.
If you can't target it and you need a computer to target it, and if you could get somebody who could outcode it and intercept it, guess what? It's dead money. That's where we don't understand. As much technology where advanced we are, we could get intercepted at any point in time.
Yeah.
All it takes is the right set of hackers and stuff that could reroute and recontrol certain things.
America is very hardware focused, while China is very software focused.
Yeah, it's the Sony Microsoft conversation.
That's another conversation.
No, I say that Sony's a hardware company, Microsoft's a software company, but it's funny that our best software company couldn't control a crash.
Now they're saying with that and with a lot of the stuff, it's human error that the reasons happen. They're not trying to put it on their. It's not the tech's fault. It's human error, which I am inclined to agree.
It is human error
because you can never account for human error. You can have the most secure, tight, locked up fortress. You can do everything right. It just takes one fool to leave the back door open.
Right. And yes, it is human error. But here's the problem with human error.
You can't account for it.
Yeah, you can't account for it, but you gotta have what's the protocol in case it goes down. Obviously, we didn't have one because you got still people stranded in states that can't even get home because the planes are just now getting back in the air. They're just now getting back. And it's not the fact that they couldn't get the planes up and running out of the air. They just couldn't process people in the process. Literally, it was just like a clerical thing. Certain companies couldn't run. I think it was Amazon, one of them. They were completely locked down for a couple days. Right after Prime Days, by the way. And they're locked down. Because they're bound to this too. Thankfully, our jobs, we wasn't necessarily bound to it because we still have old school tech. the one saving grace and downfall of where we are is that we have old school tech and it kind of kept us afloat.
Paper and clipboard?
Basically, hospitals were in trouble. I was talking to a person who was a nurse and he was saying that, when everything went down, we can't use our phones or computers. We had to write all the diagnosis and stuff by hand. So we're writing paragraphs just to let people know how to take care of their people. That's where it becomes a problem.
And the same thing is...
And this is not even a fight against somebody. This was just our error. So imagine if we was going to war with somebody who was on a technical scale who could shut us down like that.
If damage wanted to be done, damage will be done.
Right.
This is why another example, like nuclear warfare. People are worried about nuclear warfare in the future, right? And I understand it is a valid concern to have. It's not something to lose your hair over. But my thing about it is that warfare of the future is not going to be nuclear. It's going to be cyber.
Yep.
Like you were talking about, like those nukes, even if they are launched, say for some reason, they can be intercepted via cyber warfare, right? Or they can be being stopped launched entirely via cyber war. I don't think people realize how everything is so. As far as we've come in advancement, which is very far in a very short amount of time,
Yep.
It's still incredibly fragile. What we're dealing with here, tech-wise, is like a house of cards.
Yep.
It takes one stiff breeze, and this could all come tumbling down.
Easily.
That's the thing people don't realize. A lot of the stuff is not secure, it's not safe, and it's not well tested. A lot of the stuff is still running on code, say, about 20 years back.
Facts.
And they say, well, it's only 20 years ago. You're only, 25? Yeah. Human terms, that's young. Tech-wise, that's ancient.
Yep.
I mean, come on, dude. Phones are considered obsolete a year from now.
Yep.
So
because we're constantly upgrading.
Yeah, so when you're using code like 20 years ago, and someone finds a way to exploit that, yeah, you're in deep.
But guess what? But see, here's the thing. You said about the software. Who's programming the software? You think it's us out here who come up with all these programs and stuff? We come up with some of them.
Yeah, it's not all Silicon Valley.
They ain't coming from us. So if they're coming up with software,
why do you want to get rid of TikTok?
That was my next thing. The reason why they want to get rid of TikTok because they know that information is the best tool to counteract people. And if you have information and you have the technological awareness to shut things down, they didn't care about having TikTok in the U.S. They already got what they needed. They didn't care. Take TikTok off. Who was supposed to do it before? It was supposed to be Microsoft doing one for the U.S. You didn't have to have TikTok. Zuckerberg should have done this with Facebook and Instagram. It should have been Instagram taking the helm of what TikTok does. They were just late to the party and they got clipped. Even though Instagram was doing very well, they got clipped. It should have been them. It should have been Zuckerberg's thing. But they don't want to give. Let's hear the problem. They don't want to give Zuckerberg too much power. Yeah. They don't want to give Zuckerberg too much power because because the U.S. is so concerned about one person having too much technological advance over the other.
They're coming for you.
Yep, they heard me.
Was your boy Crush in there?
Hold on.
No, it's an authentic feel. It lets them know that yes, we are in the hood. We're just like you.
Facts. but the kicker is, with everything. I know this is more of like a politics thing today.
Honestly, this has just been fun.
But it's a cool little conversation to have. It's just because, like I said, at the very core of politics is just popularity.
It always has been.
It's always
everywhere. That's everywhere.
Well, okay, let me use this as an example. You say that popularity is the driver for violence. It really is. Prime example is religion, right? Religion for a long time has not been about conviction of belief. It's been about what's popular. Prime example, say you're born into a Muslim family. High chances are, yes, you will be Muslim, but you don't really know why, right? Or Christian, or Catholic, or Buddhist, or whatever. For the most part. Not every case is the same like that. But the religion that dominates is the one that is most popular. What religion is on the rise right now? Muslim religion is on the rise right now. It's becoming very popular. And there's a lot of people who are even calling themselves Muslim, not really knowing what that entails. You see this a lot with the black communities.
That's a fact.
Right? Where they're like, oh yeah, they'll even give themselves Arab names. Right?
Yeah, and they want to be on the street doing bean pies.
That's what I was gonna say.
But
I'm
the thing is,
bean pies, my brother.
The thing about it is,
Muslims.
No, it's what he's about to say.
I got
It's
you.
the popularity thing behind it.
It's on the rise of popularity. Why? And it doesn't help either that they see Muslim as more black then, which is a lot more people are why they're willing to accept it, because they, for whatever reason, laid Christianity as a white man religion. It's not. It never was, never will be. Religion, sadly, is really based, like you said, on popularity. What is popular at the time? That's what people will call themselves. For the longest time, people in America called themselves Christian without ever being Christian, without ever going to church. They'll call themselves that. Why? Because that's what was popular. Christianity, sadly, is on the decline, right? And Muslim is on the rise. And it's all for popularity's sake.
Right.
How many people know of Jesus? Everyone knows of Jesus. Everyone knows about him. Very few people actually believe what he says. Few people believe in him as the Lord and Savior. Few people confess to him their sins that they may be forgiven. Few people have a saving relationship with him. Everyone knows him, but few people are known by him. Right? Why? Because it's a popularity thing, like you said. They just want to be popular. You have Jesus on your tongue, you got a little cross on your neck, you got a Jesus bumper sticker. That is a Christian right there, Bible. That's not how it works.
No, I'll give you one better. No. So I want to thank God for getting this award, but they're talking about there's a in this house. There's a really.
Well, here's the thing. No. Here's the thing.
No. But the reason why I say that is because this is the mindset that you have, because your popular people are saying that, well, I want to thank God because, but their song is opposite of God. No, I'm saying like when you go to a award ceremony, not even in church. Church is even a different conversation, because when you're in church, here's what you have opening now. You said about popularity. The problem with church is that they try to adjust to what's going on,
which is why they
in the world, and this is why because they're not standing firm on the biblical principles. They want to change. Oh, we're going to accept gay and lesbianism in the church. We're going to have a pastor who is gay. We're going to have a female who is the pastor who is lesbian. Or a female who is a pastor who is twerking in the middle of the service. I'm telling you this because it's true, and we've seen examples of this. Look on your TikToks and your YouTubes and stuff, and you'll find this. I'm not trying to be funny. What I'm trying to explain to y'all is that the reason why people are shifting is because Christianity, or the people who so-called run their churches and professing the Christianity, is trying to shift to what's the popular thing. We'll be accepting of the gays and lesbians and stuff. But yes, I'm not saying that you gotta. No. I'm not saying that you're not there to help them, but you can't be accepting and be like, well, I'm cool that they're gay, without trying to get them to get off that path, because it's unbiblical.
Yeah, it's a case of you accept the person but not the lifestyle.
Right, but see, the problem that you have is that
both.
When you have the leadership portraying the lifestyle, people are getting away from Christianity because they're seeing the leadership not upholding the biblical values. And that's where the problem lies. And that's why people are starting to shift, because they're associating what they see from the few to it must be everybody.
When you got your Joyce Myers, you got your Joel Osteen, you got your Andy Stanleys, you got your TD Jakes. You got all these people who wave the banner of Christ, yet have nothing to do with him in truth, in love, and in justice. They have nothing to do with him. They only know his name, and sadly, they will be crying out his name on the final day.
You can't be TD Jakes and being the head of a mega church and going to the Diddy parties. No. I'm trying to be serious right now.
But you said something real important though, which a lot of people need to hear too, because you can't just say, "Oh, I'm down with this just because this person," but then don't be down with it because it's a different belief. Like you said about the gay thing, so you only down with them just because they're, but you're not down because they're gay. You're only down because who they are. Because
right, you have no. What I'm saying is that you have to kind of draw a line, and when you draw the line and try to uphold a particular value, you can't slide. So once you start sliding against that value, it becomes a problem, because now your what you stand on, your foundation is shaking because you're trying to be with the cool kid. Oh,
and that's what I'm saying though, because you see
who you are.
Even when, like you said, even when you see what passes, they try to relate to a younger community because they think, oh, this might bring popularity, this might bring more people and stuff in. Instead of just say, you know what, this is what I stand for. You can take it or leave it, you can believe it or not, but let you know, hey, I'm still 100% behind the decision, whatever you make.
I'm here. It's simple. I'm here to help you grow. I'm here to build your spiritual life. I'm here to make sure that you get through the kingdom gates of heaven. And sometimes to do as such, you have to be able to stand on that foundation. And if your foundation is not the biblical word of Christ, then what are we doing? And that's why the Christian, as people see it now, is shaking. This is why people are shifting. Because the one thing about Muslim and their belief, they're not shifting. Buddhists are not shifting. It's the people who so-call themselves Christians who are constantly shifting around. They want to move the goalpost. But if you just stand firm on the word of God, I think everybody will be fine. But the problem is everybody wants to shift because of the money, the popularity, and I want to be the popular one who accepts these things. And so they want to get more and more people, well, come to my church because we accept this.
So here's the thing. I'm going to read this. This is from Matthew 10. Right? And people who think that they can have Christ and the world, or that they can proclaim Christ, yet align themselves with the forces of darkness and wickedness. You can't. There is no middle ground here. You're either on one side or the other. There is no fence sitters. There's only the dead or the saved. And this is Matthew 10 from verse 32. Whoever acknowledges me before others, I will acknowledge. This is Jesus speaking. Mm-hmm. Whoever acknowledges me before others, I will also acknowledge before my Father in heaven. But whoever disowns me before others, I will disown before my Father in heaven. Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to turn a man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies will be the members of his own household. Anyone who loves their father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Anyone who loves their son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Whoever does not take up their cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds their life will lose it, and whoever loses their life for my sake will find it.
So that's from here. That's from Matthew. Yeah. So
now,
basically,
mind you, real quick, just to give some context, he's talking to the disciples right now as well. But it's
Matthew 10.
Yeah, Matthew 10. He's talking to the disciples right now. Yep. But this still applies to practically all believers. You got to know what you're getting into with Christianity. What you're getting into is you are proclaiming an eternal allegiance and a love for God alone. That doesn't mean you don't love other people. It just means He's at the top of the list. He's at the center of your heart. He's the reason you remain. All right. I mean, people will hear that and say, wait, so I'm supposed to hate my mom? So say, no. You're supposed to love God more than that. Why? Because He's quite literally giving you everything in the world. You're supposed to love Him more than them because not only is He giving you the breath that you have right now, He's the reason you have that.
Right.
He's the reason you have anything.
Correct.
And on that pure basis alone, that logic alone, yeah, you would love that person who's giving you quite literally everything more than everyone else. And if you want to know true peace and true contentment, you will love God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. And when you fail to do so, you will have misery because you're giving your love to something that does not and cannot love you back the way God loves you. People, humanity as a whole, was made for God. God made man for Himself. Why do you think He came down to die on a cross? To reconcile what is lost back to Him.
Yep.
People keep trying to find redemption in this world, or peace in this world, or true love in this world. You will never have redemption outside of Christ. You only have condemnation. You will never have love in this life without God, only really lust. You will never have peace in this life, only bouts of war. There is nothing in this world or in this life that is worth clinging to that is not God-driven.
Right, because the thing is, people want it their way. They want Christianity in their way.
It's not Bud Light.
It's not. No. It's not Burger King. You don't get it the way that you want it. God set the blueprint. He said, "Take up your cross, follow me." Even if that means you have to separate yourself from your kids, your mama, your daddy. Sometimes you do have to separate yourself.
Yeah.
And then the Lord will realign you with people who you need to help you.
No, the thing about it too is
I like that.
You do understand that. I want you to understand. We did talk about this earlier. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta separate yourself from people.
You got me on that last one. Here's the thing. But why is that so hard?
Because you want to wonder why it's hard? Because you're used to it. You've been doing it for 17, 18, 19 plus years. You're used to it. You gotta separate. Because that's what the Lord's telling you to do. For you to grow, you gotta separate from your past. Drop your past. Step into the new. But for you to step into the new, you have to drop what's in your past first. Step into the new, follow me. I'm going to open up doors for you. But I cannot open this door for you if you're still holding on to stuff in your past. I can't give you a new relationship if you're still holding on to your previous relationship. I can't give you a new job if you're still clinging on to the old job. I cannot give you a new perspective in life if you're still holding on to this old one that is wrong. You got to be able to say, I have to separate from all of it.
Well, here's the thing is people don't understand is Christ will have different demands of all who follow him. He will have different demands of all who follow him. Some men will lose their wives, lose their families. Other men will gain wives, gain a wife and a family. He takes different things and puts different things in every one of his disciples' life. However, here's the thing. The expectation is the same for all of them. The expectation is the same for all of them. Both your hands better be open, your heart better be open, your mind better be clear.
Right.
That's the expectation for all of them. However, what he does with each and every one of them is different.
Exactly. Because it's one body, many parts, that's a different conversation. But more importantly is this. Why do I always tell you that it's bigger than us? Because sometimes for it to be bigger than you, you have to show separation to understand that it's a bigger goal. It's not just about me and my selfish need or my selfish wants or desires. It's bigger. If God doesn't have the plan set in toe for me, it doesn't matter what I do. Those doors are going to close in a heartbeat, or those doors may temporarily open and you'll fall. You know, the reason why I get mad at a lot of people who get to a certain success rate, it's because they got about it the wrong way, and then when it comes all crashing down, then it's the whole woe is me. But the Lord already told you this was going to fall down because you built it wrong. You built it on the wrong foundation, so it was bound to fall. It just took longer. You got to be the icon, and guess what you became? You became the example of why you should have been why people should have been following God and not didn't.
But you correct.
I'm just.
Here we go again. You said it. This is Matthew 7, verse 24. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and does them may be compared to a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain descended, and the rivers came, and the winds blew and fell against that house. And yet it did not fall, for it had been founded on the rock. And everyone hearing these words of mine and not doing them may be compared to a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain descended, and the rivers came, and the winds blew and slammed against that house, and it fell. And great was its fall.
Right.
Did you say that last one? A great what?
A great was its fall.
Wow.
Yeah, because again, doesn't matter how big or tall or whatever it is, it can still come tumbling down.
Shit goes down.
But if the foundation is straight, everything on top of it's fine. So you gotta understand where you are. Are you the one just gonna be blown off? or are you the one part of the foundation getting ready to build and have people build with you? Because that's really what it comes down to. What we're trying to do is be the foundation to help build for others. Even when we get to a certain threshold, we're going to help bring other people along with us. We're building.
Think about like a skyscraper. Christ is the very bottom foundation of which we build upon. We build upon that. We build someone on top of us. They build someone on top of us. It's a skyscraper. It goes up.
You talked about earlier leaving a legacy. If your foundation is right, you're going to leave the proper legacy for everybody else to see. And that has nothing to do with popularity. It has nothing to do with necessarily money or anything like that. You're going to leave a legacy to be like, I love and respect what Paul has done. That's the legacy. It's bigger than money. It's bigger than the girls. It's bigger than all that. But you got to get the foundational right first. So that means you got to lock in, do the work, wait for the doors to open from God, and then watch what happens next. Because guess what's going to happen next? There's going to be more and more people connected. There's going to be more and more people trying to figure out what we're doing. More and more people trying to get involved in the process. And once you have that, your legacy is set. But that legacy is bigger than just you and your name. Because you're representing something much greater. It's bigger than just Paul. It's bigger than Vic. It's bigger than Cam. It's bigger than PVC. It's bigger than that. And once you kind of understand that, you see how easy these doors start to open. Because guess what? They're already opening anyway. Just be patient with the process. Because when you build a strong foundations aren't built quickly. Strong foundations take time.
Besides, there's always windows.
Facts. And don't jump out the window. Don't jump out the window, especially if you build a foundation and you're on the second story. Anyway, besides that, this has been a very good episode. Hopefully y'all rock along with us.
This was fun.
Y'all have fun. This was 89? Is it 89 now? 89? So yeah, it's been a very good episode for y'all who've been rocking along. I know it's been a lot of different information, kind of a little bit different than what we normally would talk about.
Before we wrap it up, I do want to give a shout out to some of the celebrities that's passed on. You know, my condolences goes out to their family and stuff like that. We lost some good people in 2023 and 2024. Some good celebrities. Hearts still broken. You know, I lost my crush. She passed away from the night on Tuesday.
Shannon Doherty was battling with cancer.
Rest in peace. Richard Simmons, Jesus Christ, man.
Richard was battling. He was battling some stuff too. But that's what happens.
But you know, that's a part of life. You know, but still, as a podcast, we always want to give our shout out and condolences to everybody.
Yeah. Shout out. You know, first and foremost, shout out to the people who have lost people. You know, that's always a tough thing, especially when they were battling like sickness and illness and stuff, and still grinding away.
Final thoughts.
Well, this has been an interesting episode. We've had a lot to talk about. Went from politicking to politicking in a way. But yeah, don't be foolish and don't put your faith and trust in any president. I'm not saying don't vote. That's the stupidest thing you do. Just not vote. What's the point of being American if you're not going to vote? But in all seriousness, don't put your faith in this nation. This nation will fail you more often than not. Put your faith in the one who has never failed you, who has been taking care of you since you were created by you, and who is giving you breath at this very moment, that being the Lord Jesus Christ, or Jesus of Nazareth. He's the only one worth really pursuing in this world. He's the only one worth striving after. He's the only one worth being a disciple of. Everyone else and everything else is just that. Everyone else and everything else. For some of you, this may cost you some stuff. It may cost you some relationships. Others, you may find them. I don't know what it's going to cost you. But whatever the cost is, I think you would agree that eternal life is worth it. Because it's not just, I don't want to follow Jesus. I want to live my own life. I'm fine with not going to heaven. Well, it's not like you go into oblivion. You go to where you belong, where everyone belongs. Everyone alive right now in this room and in this world has earned themselves a spot in hell. We all have. We're all worthy of hell. It's where we belong. Some people say that may sound extreme, but that's just the truth, especially when you read the Bible and you're aware of your own sinfulness. But, however, at this point in time, hell is only a choice. You don't have to go there. You don't have to die in your sin. You don't have to burn forever. You don't have to. Simply just choose Christ. Understand that He's the choice that you need to make. More than any political candidate, more than what you're going to eat for dinner, more than what you're going to do tomorrow, more than what job you're going to have, who you're going to marry. This is the choice that matters. I urge you, right now, this instant, choose Christ. Cry out to Him. He hears you. I mean, He already sees all your thoughts. He knows what you're feeling. He knows what you're doing. He made you. Don't be so foolish to think He doesn't know who you are. But He wants you to know who He is. And you two may have a saving relationship. Again, as always, I urge you to choose Christ. The only choice worth making. Cameron.
Caramel. Let me go. Go ahead. Get your words off.
Polybius.
Get your verbals off.
OG, he got to go. You know,
get your verbals off. Go ahead.
It's your verbals.
Go ahead. Get your verbals.
Wow.
Feels like something you'd hear like in middle school. Like a teacher did.
I'll leave it with this. Sometimes we do things in our life try to be for the greater the good, and sometimes that greater the good comes with sacrifices. It comes with, as Cam told me, with sacrifice and temptations. But for the most part, you know, some decisions you make in life can be for the greater the good, and some decisions in life can come with consequences, can lead to you losing a lot, whether it's financials, relationships, or just your self-respect. But sometimes, you know, you sacrifice stuff just to try to get to that top of the food chain or that top of the mountain, and where the risk comes rewards. But sometimes that risk can cost you so much that even though you get the reward, you'll look back and say, you know what, all that risk I took to get this reward really doesn't feel like a reward. It just feel like, you know, here it is. But now you see what you sacrificed and you lost. So I'll say it like this. If you want something good, you're going to have to go through some thresholds, and you're going to have to go through certain little turning points in your life, whether some people rock with you or not. But in order to do that, you got to, you know, find a balance of what am I establishing in my life, or what am I pushing myself, what am I fighting for? And the only way you can do that is you got to, you know, got to start opening it up to the right people. Because, you know, a lot of people in this world didn't get where they get to without having some kind of foundation or some kind of support system, or some kind of, you know, people motivating you, good people behind your corner. And, you know, as I'm getting older, you know, I'm starting to realize that, you know, if I had done this in my 26-year-old, who knows where my 36-year-old life would be at right now. So, you know, I'm not saying, you know, I'm perfect, which I'm not. You know, I've done things in my life which I'm not proud of, and, you know, but at the same time, you know, I thank God every day I still maintain, I'm still alive, and I'm still trying to push to something even more greater, you know, and it's been a blessing in disguise to sit here at the table, you know, with my good brothers right here, and, you know, we've got some good things coming out in the near future, but, you know, besides that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody out there, just take time to sit back and think about what you starting for, what you trying to push for, what you trying to maintain, what are you trying to leave behind, so people can always remember you for the greater good. And for the most part, you know, just be yourself and keep grinding and shining. You doing this too good.
First and foremost, before we do anything else, shout out to all the 109 subscribers of the PVC Podcast crew. We definitely appreciate each and every one of you. First and foremost, it's an honor to have y'all riding along. I know we always talk about different things all the time, so I definitely appreciate y'all kind of rocking along and always taking a listen to what we do. And for the ones who are not subscribers, who definitely watch us, even in passing, we appreciate that as well. So, because I know we see people who give us content and stuff. We appreciate all of that first and foremost. Secondly, I always say that, in life, you're always going to go through pressures and stresses and what is my life going to be? What you got to really understand is that, it's going to be a lot of things in this world that's going to always be like, well, I'm going to stress about what's going on in politics. Stress what's going on at my job. Stress what's going on at the home front. Stress about my relationship or being in a relationship. Whatever that may be, what your stresses are. A lot of times, if you have the proper foundation, those stresses become a lot easier to maintain. Does not say that they won't be there, but it's a lot easier to uphold and maintain if your foundation is proper and your foundation is right. So you have to figure out how you want to build said foundation. If your foundation is not built on the right things, it's going to be a lot tougher and a lot rockier road, because you're going to be doing a lot of like building, destruction, and building. It's kind of like the U.S. We build, we break some stuff down, and we build again. Because I think that foundationally, we thought we had it right the first time, and we deviated from that foundation, and we never got our foundation proper again.
You saying that reminded me such of a show from my youth, back in 2012, 2013, maybe earlier. There was a show on Cartoon Network called Destroy, Build, Destroy.
Yep.
Yeah, you just saying those words reminded me.
Yep. So, get your foundation together, family, is what I will tell you. Once your foundation is set, a lot of things tend to fall into place. Now, with that being said, that does not mean it's going to be an easy path. It'll just be an easier path. You may think that, it's difficult to let go of my friends in the past.
Join the club.
Guess what? You're going to have to do that. Quick example. How many people who've been like 5 or 10 years removed from high school still talk to all the high school friends that you have? 90% of them you don't. I'm going to tell you probably talked about maybe like 5 or 6 of them. But 90% of them you don't. You ultimately have to let your high school adolescence go in order to be an adult.
See them next year in our high school.
Right. You'll see them at the reunion, and guess what they're going to tell you? Yo, it's cool to see you, dap it up, keep in touch. You keep in touch, say what's up. It's only like 4 or 5 of them I keep in touch with to this day. Yeah, it's only 5 of them I keep in touch with to this day. 5 of my college boys I keep in touch with to this day.
It's sad, but that's the truth.
But part of it is I had to let them go. Yeah. Letting some of that high school stuff go gets me to y'all. Letting certain things that happened in the past go gets me to where I am now.
So you better feel special.
No, I'm just saying that it's still a progression. It's still a progression. Because you're gonna lose certain things and gain certain things. You're gonna lose money and gain money. Lose relationships and gain relationships until you get locked into the right one. You're gonna lose friends and gain friends. That's what this is. You're gonna lose them and gain them. Yes, but you're gonna be okay. Understand that if your foundation is right, you will be okay. And anybody who's been successful in anything will tell you that. Ultimately, they say if it still falls down, and everything was to crumble tomorrow, they have a game plan to get back up because their foundation was straight. That's what this comes down to. But besides that, y'all, hopefully y'all have fun. Hopefully y'all learn something like we always try to do. Try to make everything a teaching moment. Hopefully y'all enjoyed yourselves with the PVC Podcast crew. We got some things in the works. Shout out to Jason Lang, of course. We got some things cracking with him. Shout out to Dirty Joe, of course. Appreciate you everything that you're doing right now. Show you some love as well.
Speaking of Jason Lane, so just to give you guys an update, we'll be doing a short film with Jason Lane, and we start filming August 17th. So keep everybody updated on that. And I'm looking forward to doing this project. So shout out to Jason Lane.
We're doing some good work. So we got a lot of things spinning in the mix. So just keep riding along with us. We'll continue to give y'all the content. We're going to expand our content as we go along. But besides that, y'all, for my man Paul, for my man Vic, my name is Cam, a.k.a. Mr. Nerd Boy Fresh.
Freaky.
Like always, it is God above everything. Until next time, family, we will do this again soon.
Much love and respect.
Salute.